recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios Brisbane on 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Z Games.
With 10 years experience and over 500 episodes,
Z Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture.
Want to reach out? Message us on Facebook at ZEDGamesAU.
Hello, you're listening to Z Games. My name is Ezie and I'm hanging out in studio with...
Eliott, how you going?
I'm good. Is that a new voice I hear? I think so. How you doing, Eliott?
Yeah, good, man. I'm excited to be on. It's really cool.
Hey, first time on the airways.
Yeah.
So, you're just pumped full of adrenaline.
Oh my God, I'm freaking out. freaking out.
Don't worry, you don't have to freak out too much because... we're just talking about video games, so...
Yeah, it's pretty chill.
It's pretty much like every other day we hang out, to be honest. So I think it's fine. This week on Z Games, we've got the week in gaming news, as per usual. Then we also have a review from yours truly on Paint the Town Red. And then after that, Paul will be giving us a review on The Forgotten City. So all Aussie local, or Aussie games, rather. So, yeah, that's what's happening on the show. What have you been up to anyway, Eliott?
Well, I, like you, was playing Paint the Town Red recently. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I will let you do your review, but... hopefully
I'm going to go. You're going to help me because you played it with me,
It's exciting. I'm excited.
It's a team effort.
Yeah.
Also, Eliott is a passionate subscriber of 4ZZZ. What?
Yeah. Follow me and passionately subscribe to 4ZZZ because you need to be full of passion.
Yeah. Also, this is Z Games. So if you're going to subscribe within the next hour, make sure that Z Games is your number one show because... it is essentially the number one gaming show on all of 4ZZZ.
Yeah.
That's right. We're number one.
Yeah.
We play...
4ZZZ.
That's right. 4ZZZ. Subscribe, damn it. Anyway, I think without further ado, we should get into the first segment of this evening, which is the week in gaming news. Let's do it.
This week in gaming news, PAX Australia cancelled. PAX Australia had plans on a big return after last year's event was cancelled due to the worldwide COVID-19 epidemic. Unfortunately, the event's organisers have had to pull the plug, releasing the following statement. It is with a heavy heart that today we announce the postponement of PAX Australia 2021. At the start of the year, we were optimistic that we'd be able to come together in person this October. We've been working hard with our partners and exhibitors to deliver the best possible version of PAX Australia 2021, but due to the ongoing impact of COVID-19 in Australia, the next edition of PAX Australia will take place in 2022. Much like last year, we will be working to bring our community together this year via PAX Australia online. For those of you who purchased tickets to PAX Australia 2021, we'd like to remind you that you're entitled to a full refund. You will be receiving specific information about that within the next 7 days. While PAX is cancelled this year, GCAP, the Asia-Pacific Focused Development Conference that kicks off Games Week in Melbourne each year leading into PAX, has announced it will be an all-digital event again. Tickets will be available soon for interested developers. Knuckles. Idris Elba, People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive recipient for 2016, has been revealed as the voice as none other than Knuckles the Echidna in the sequel to 2020's Sonic the Hedgehog movie. The actor made the announcement on Twitter with a picture of the character's clenched fist and the words, "Knock knock." Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is set to hit theatres on April 8th, 2022. Indie announcements. This week saw indie showcases by both Nintendo and Microsoft. Nintendo's latest Indie World revealed a number of games coming to the console in the near future, including a new Shovel Knight game, taking the series into the genre of puzzle games. They also surprise dropped 7 games that launched instantly on the eShop: Garden Story, Boyfriend Dungeon, Curious Expeditions 2, Islanders, Slime Rancher Portable Edition, Australia's very own Necro Barista, and the long-anticipated Axiom Verge sequel. Microsoft also showed off a number of indie games for its Xbox platforms at this week's ID at Xbox event. A new sci-fi co-op farming sim called Lightyear Frontier was announced along with Xbox versions of such games as The Wandering Village, Lab Rat, Inked A Tale of Love, and Sam & Max Save the World Remastered. We also got deeper dives into the upcoming skateboarding game Ollie Ollie World, showing off the customization options, and the Melbourne-developed psychedelic rock platformer The Artful Escape, which launches on September 9th. You can find links to both presentations on the Z Games Facebook page. More retro minis. The Amiga 500 Mini has been announced. This miniature version of the classic 1980s PC-based platform will ship with 25 games, including Another World, The Chaos Engine, Speedball 2, and Worms. It will launch in 2022 with a retail price of $139 US. No Australian price has been announced at this point. Game releases. Hades for Xbox platforms will be launching on August 13. Road 96 will be launching for PC and Switch on August 16th. Greek, Memories of Azure for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and Swix. And Humankind for PC and Stadia will launch on August 17th. Mortal Shell, The Vicious Cycle DLC, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One. Out of Line for Switch and Skydome for PC will launch on August 18th. While Monster Train First Class will come to Switch, Recompile for PC, PS5 and Xbox Series X, Rims Racing for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One and Switch, The Veil, Shadow of the Crown for PC and Xbox Series X, and the long-anticipated 12 Minutes comes to PC and Xbox platforms on August 19th. That's all this week in gaming news.
Thank you so much, Paul, for that fantastic amount of useful information to do with the last week in games. PAX, it's over again. It's history repeating.
I'm so disappointed, honestly. Like, I'm not shocked,
I'm
shocked. Disappointed.
I wasn't shocked that it would be delayed or cancelled or have gone virtual. It is just another sad moment because Rani, another co-host to the fantastic Z Games, she was going to go down and report for us, but that's fine. I guess we'll just have to pray that it works next year. That's where I'm at. Also, Idris Elba as Knuckles.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about that, Eliott?
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's been a long time since I played Sonic, but I don't recall Knuckles having that deep of a voice. And from memory, Idris has quite a deep voice.
He does. He does.
So I'm interested to see how it'll go.
I wonder if, because Knuckles is quite an edgy guy, right?
True.
So I feel like Idris can pull off edgy.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm keen.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Also, the Amiga 500 Minis.
That will be cool.
That will be cool. Did you say? So it's $139 US, but you were saying it's more like around $200.
I think from what I've seen, it'll be roughly 200 AUD.
Cool.
But don't quote me on that.
I won't quote you. I'll quote you right now.
Stitched up.
Also, you were saying something about what game was it?
Yeah,
the Jet Set Radio.
Actually, like when Nintendo did their indie announcements, they announced a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio. It's going to be called Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. So I'm really keen for that because
Bomb Rush Cyberfunk.
Yeah, it's got a funky name, right? Like,
I'm just typing that so fast right now.
Jet Set Radio had a really wicked soundtrack, so I'm keen to see what this is like. And it's just a fun game, it's like rollerblading. Well, this is Jet Set Radio. I'm assuming that.
Oh, it looks real nice.
Yeah, it has a really cool art style.
It looks almost. It gives me like a Borderlands vibe.
Yeah,
with the color palette, I think.
Yeah, it's very bright, very flashy.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah. So many good things happening. Lots of announcements. I mean, the unfortunate PAX announcement, but we'll move right past that.
Yeah, we just pretend that, stay away from sad stuff.
Yeah, we'll stay right away from that. Also, Hades comes to Xbox Series X and Xbox One. Yeah, that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
Probably the most popular roguelike ever.
Yeah,
I think.
It's been really popular.
So that's cool if you've been missing out and you've got an Xbox and you've wanted to play. That comes out on the 13th of August. Also, I'm just going to have to take a quick moment to give a shout out to some of my co-workers. Kate, Jess and Beth, hope you're having a fantastic night listening to Z Games, just like everyone else out there listening to Z Games right now. And, you know, I'd just like to remind everyone that it's actually Radiothon right now at 4ZZZ, and you should subscribe.
Yeah,
you should subscribe to us. 4ZZZ.org.au/support. You know, it's not just me and Eliott in studio that makes, you know, Z Games happen, all this reporting, all this fantastic stuff that we do every week revolving around video games and everything gaming related. It's also the awesome team like Paul, Rani, Maylee, Zara, Toby. You know, we're all there. We're all trying to put stuff together every single week, even over Christmas. You know, we're here for you. Yeah. So subscribe and say that Z Games is your favourite show, because that would make me very happy. It's Z Games. My name is Ezie and I'm hanging out in studio with Eliott.
Yo.
We're now about to head into a review of a local development. That's right. It's a Southeast Queensland development. It's called Paint the Town Red. I'm going to review it now. I'm just like, I'm working myself up there. All right, so it's developed by Southeast Games and published by Southeast Games. The music is by Jeff Van Dyke. Its platforms are Nintendo Switch, Windows, Linux, Mac, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. It was released on the 29th of July on this year, so it's only fairly recent. Its genres are fighting, action, gore, first-person melee, beat 'em up. So, are you up for some chaos? Do you want to start a bar fight and beat the living heck out of some voxel-based biker heads? Punch, smash, kick, stab, and slice your way to victory in Paint the Town Red, where you are dropped into a first-person perspective beat 'em up. There are a bunch of different game modes, such as scenarios, arena, beneath, and player-created levels. So scenarios are standalone levels where you enter either a biker bar, disco, prison, or even a pirate ship, and you attempt to be the last one standing. Now, this mode I definitely recommend for people who are just getting started. And also a tip that the second you throw a punch, a whole all-out brawl begins. So just be mindful of that. In the arena, you must survive waves of enemies that increase in difficulty with each wave that passes. Your chances of survival increase when you have a good understanding of the weapons. So this mode is definitely for the more confident players. Then there is Beneath, which is a roguelike mode that features 6 different areas called biomes that are procedurally generated levels that have dozens of different enemy types, weapons, bosses, and this appears to be the most popular game mode. It also has a story to it there too, a bit of a narrative, which Eliott will talk to shortly. It also has a large array of things to smash and be smashed with, so be prepared for that. Also, by defeating bosses in the Beneath area, you gain access to more sections of the facility that you can progress through. Paint the Town Red also has a multiplayer feature that does online matchmaking and includes cooperative modes, so you and a mate can team up to beat 'em up. What weapons are there, you might ask? Well, your fists, predominantly. You can also kick and wind up a punch for heavier blows. But the main thing is that you'll be able to use objects in your environment as weapons, such as chairs, bar stools, bottles, pool cues, anything that you can get your hands on. You can, in some scenarios, pick up swords and knives. And if you aren't the one with the knife, that can be kind of terrifying. All these items can only be used for a certain amount of hits before they break, and you must find another weapon or just start throwing your fists frantically like I do. You are also able to throw those weapons that you pick up, if you so wish, from range. However, you'll probably find it more useful to just hold and hit with it, I believe. There are also these special abilities that you can unlock that you build through this meter that has sort of 3 tiers to it. The more enemies you knock down, the more the bar fills. Once you unlock the first bar, you're able to use Shockwave, which is an ability where you can knock down all the enemies in front of you within a certain radius. It doesn't kill them, it just knocks them down. Then, the second bar if you were to hold off and save your first charge, is Berserk, which fills you with rage, where your vision goes red and allows you to one-hit kill your enemies in slow motion for epic visuals. The final bar is Smite, which will slow time, shoot beams of light from above, destroying enemies you point at around you in gory glory. Yeah, this leads me to my next point. So why is the game called Paint the Town Red? Well, you might have heard me mention this game does have some gory elements. That's because as you bash and stab your way to victory, you are literally painting each level red with the blood of your enemies. It's pretty violent. In saying that, this game does have an aesthetic similar to Minecraft, where nothing is hyper-realistic by any means. Honestly, voxel-based enemies are a great design choice for this kind of game because it enables parts of the enemies to fly off when you hit them. So it's quite gruesome or cool. It's up to you. Some little things that I found challenging was that the third-person death camera, when you enter a spectator mode, is a bit janky. It's as if the box collider that holds the camera sort of collapses with the environment around it, so it bounces really aggressively, and that kind of made me a bit motion sick. The other issue I had was I felt like I needed more visual cues for taking damage when I was low health. The health bar is not super visible enough for me, and I felt as though I didn't get enough warning before I died. Aside from those little things, Paint the Town Red is an all-round pretty solid experience with over 12,000 reviews on Steam, all showing very positive. It has a very active fan community, and I expect lots of updates to come as the game continues to do well. The soundtrack, composed by our very own Brisbane-based gaming music man, Jeff Van Dyke, does not disappoint. From providing excellent tension-building grunge rock in a biker bar to disco-diving mayhem, this soundtrack is fantastically suspenseful from moment to moment. There have been times when I am barely surviving trying to duck, dodge, and run as fast as I can from being killed, and Jeff's composition is right behind me, making sure I feel the pressure. There are so many heavy metal elements to Paint the Town Red, and this soundtrack just fits perfectly, especially when you go berserk. If you're looking for an aggressive Minecraft-like melee first-person brawler, definitely check out Paint the Town Red. It's going for $28.95 on Steam, and it's the best kind of brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree?
Man, we had so much fun. Like, when we played multiplayer, oh my lord. That was an experience and a half.
It's just like, run, smash, run,
I had no idea what I was doing, but I had a hell of a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty intuitive. Like, you can just pick it up and then you're just like, okay, I get the gist.
You're just smacking things, right?
You're just smacking things, yeah. That's it.
But, yeah, even so, like, it was crazy.
What was Beneath like, the sort of the story mode?
So, I'll be completely honest, I died super quick. I died super quick. But it was a lot of fun. It was really, really cool. So you walk in and it's just sort of this weird sort of sci-fi-esque like bunker that you just sort of walk into. And you're like, what is going on? There's doctors around the place. There's scientists and stuff. Yeah, like it's just weird. So you're walking around a bit and then, if you actually follow, the line of where things are going, just to your right, like straight away, there's a little sort of area where you can choose your class. So you got like Brawler, Warlock. There's like 5 of them. I don't remember the names. But you choose your class. They have different sort of specs and different abilities and stuff. Whatever tickles your fancy, you go in there, you do it, and then you walk down into this giant vault-like door that opens up, and you go down into like a mining facility essentially.
From the lab to the mine.
Yeah, wild. And like the moment you enter, you just see like dozens of like zombies. It's and they're just they will mess you up, man.
Awesome.
Like
typical Southeast Queensland games.
Yeah,
it's like, how can we make this go from one genre to the next like that?
It's like that. Yeah. No, it was wild. It was super cool, and like I did all right. I did okay until I met like the weird crystal crab that exploded and killed me. But
that's a crystal crab.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, it was wild. It was a lot of fun. Highly recommend.
It's a good game. I recommend. It's in case you missed it from before, it's actually available on pretty much every platform. So Nintendo Switch, Windows, Mac, Linux, PS5, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Series S. If you like to support Brisbane local games, I would suggest buying it. Yeah, because it's developed on the Gold Coast, so it's our area of the
support your
woods.
locals.
That's right. Check it out. You're listening to Z Games. My name is Ezie, and I'm hanging out in studio with Eliott today. We are now about to dive straight in to a review from Paul on a game called The Forgotten City. So without further ado, I'm just going to push the play button.
The Forgotten City by Melbourne-based developer Modern Storyteller. Way back in 2015, a Skyrim mod was released called The Forgotten City. In it, players were thrown into an ancient city where the inhabitants lived under the edict of the Golden Rule. If anyone in the city were to commit a sin, all would be punished with death. The mod was a massive success, winning a multitude of awards, including an Australian Writers Guild Award in 2016. With that under their belts, the developers of the mod formed a studio and set to work turning the mod into a polished standalone product. Now with the trappings of the Elder Scrolls removed, a new engine, and a completely redesigned world, it's time for players to try and unravel the mysteries of the Forgotten City anew. The player begins the game in present day, having washed ashore from a river. You're given a choice of sex and one of 4 classes, which is a little odd considering this is an exploration and dialogue-driven adventure game. But there are a couple of interesting outcomes for what you choose. I chose the archaeologist background because it promised to deliver more insights into the ancient world around me. It's not long before you'll find yourself hurled back in time, trapped underground in the ancient Roman city. Someone is going to break the Golden Rule, and it's up to you to work out who it is. You're tasked with exploring the world, talking to the inhabitants, uncovering their motives, and solving their problems. If anyone commits a sin, though, including the player, all hell will break loose, and you'll have to run back to the portal from which you first emerged in order to start the loop over again.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Since this isn't a Groundhog Day style situation, and you're willfully travelling back each time you loop, you'll take any items you've collected with you. Does this mean you could, say, rob someone and then just reset the day and you'll keep the money scot-free? Of course it does. The game helps you from retreading old ground each time you restart by providing a friendly character next to the starting portal who you can simply tell to run off and do any of the tasks you've already worked out solutions for. It's handy and basically eliminates any repetition that would be inherent in the concept. While the game is now beautifully rendered and unreal with a rich, detailed world to explore, there are a couple of elements that recall the game's Skyrim roots. The way the camera centers on a character with a stiffly animated face and an ever so slightly cross gaze just screams the Elder Scrolls, as well as the way you're able to pointlessly rotate all the items you pick up in the world. Without spoiling much, the game even includes some more action-orientated sequences. One which begins with a warning that if players do not enjoy action and horror, they can feel free to skip it. After completing the sequence, it brought me pause. It seemed super important. How could someone beat the game without it? I asked myself. Then, as I reached the game's conclusion, I discovered a few things I missed, not associated with any quest. What had I missed? The game has 4 endings, which you can hit each of in a single playthrough, but it's a little misleading as it made me focus on those being the sole goals. The world provides many choices and options to explore, of which I knew I had not fully discovered. Something I mentioned earlier in this review was a character who would automatically solve your completed tasks. While definitely useful, you might actually be robbing yourself of opportunities to find alternative solutions and really explore the full breadth of the world. The real achievement here is the creation of a play space which feels large enough to be worth exploring, but small and connected enough to understand and not get bogged down simply moving around. There's even some mild Metroidvania elements which grant you some extra traversal options to speed up movement further. Then filling this world with characters, about 20 spoken named roles, of whom are all easily identifiable. It's a testament to the quality, visual design, writing and vocal performance that each character can remain so unique. The writing, however, is very self-serious, which is somewhat typical for the fantasy and period genres, but it does stop any of the characters really rising above as standouts. Also on the writing, you'll find a good exploration of the concepts of morality and a few interesting historical facts throughout, but it's not a deep dive into these topics. It doesn't get too heavy, but it may spark your interest further. Overall, The Forgotten City is a very polished package, great visual design, quality writing, with enough hooks and twists to keep you exploring. Its soundtrack is solid, albeit very typical for the setting, but it supports the action on screen and doesn't draw much attention to itself. It's easily the best time travel historical fiction mystery game I've played all year. The Forgotten City is currently available on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One, with a Switch release planned sometime later this year.
Thank you so much, Paul, for that review there of The Forgotten City. Yo, you're listening to Zed Games. My name is Ezie. I'm hanging out in the studio with
Eliott.
Eliott. Woo!
Woo!
If you're tuning in right now, you've tuned in just at the end of Zed Games, more or less.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
We've missed out.
Yeah.
We had a great show.
Timing is really bad, people.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
But really good if you're looking for Film Club, because they'll be up in about 10 minutes. And, you know, something that films have in common with games is cutscenes. I'll go with that.
Music?
Music? Yeah. Okay.
Which we do.
We do. Really?
Yeah.
How have you found the show today?
It's been really cool. Yeah, no, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah,
like thoroughly. Yeah, it's easy because I'm with Ezie. So
you're terrible. Okay, you're not allowed back now. That's it. The puns.
God damn it.
I would like to say, just a quick reminder, that it is actually Radiothon here at 4ZZZ, and I want to give a special shout out to the few people that have actually subscribed while we've been on air this evening. Nathan from The Gap, Jason from The Gap, as well as David from Bellbird Park, and I think Greg from Ash Grove. Thanks, guys. Also, we just had another subscriber. Woohoo! Hell yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget to just say Zed Games is your favourite show when you're subscribing, because, you know, we are the number one gaming show on 4ZZZ. The number one gaming show, that's right, where we bring you the best in gaming news, reviews, community, culture, and music, of course. We like to highlight our local developers here in Brisbane as well as in other parts of Australia, because, you know, it's really important to showcase creative media, especially video games. People get, video games gets a bad rap sometimes.
Yeah, they really do.
It's all them Grand Theft Auto and COD players.
Yeah.
Just ruining it for all the other beautiful games.
There are some gorgeous games that I think get overlooked just purely because of, really violent stuff that gets showcased on, mainstream news, which is why you come here, for good news.
That's correct. You come here for the good news, which the good news this week was that Idris Elba is going to be Knuckles in Sonic Hedgehog 2 movie.
Yeah.
I guess that's good news. Bad news, PAX is cancelled. But actually, what's your favourite game? Do you have a favourite game?
Yeah, Dragon Age.
Dragon Age,
yeah.
Oh, I'm learning so much about you.
I'm a big fan of that sort of RPG stuff, which is why I'm actually really keen for The Forgotten City. It looks cool.
Paul sold it to you now.
Yeah, Paul has sold it to me.
He will
Good
be
job,
sitting
Paul.
there
Congrats.
rubbing his hands together going, yes, my plan worked.
Yeah.
If you liked any of the reviews from this evening, or if you enjoyed anything from this evening, we do actually have a podcast at ZED Games AU on Facebook. Look us up. Everything will be posted there, including the podcast, including any of the written reviews. So if you'd like to, share them around, you can. Also, lots of other things like amazing memes. I post memes every day.
They are really good, actually.
So they're great memes, gaming memes, of course. So, I suggest doing that. And if you'd like to, support the cause of me posting those memes, you should subscribe to 4ZZZ, which is at 4ZZZ.org.au/support. That's right.
Yeah,
someone subscribed.
Congrats. Thank you so much.
You did it. You're figuring it out. You know where the buttons are. I'm very proud of you. Make sure to say that Zed Games is your favourite show. Loving it. Yeah. But, yeah, I believe it's like coming to the end of the show. Is there anything, you got any shout outs for anyone out there, Eliott?
Shout out to my mum. Love you. Thank you so much. That's it. And Caitlin, if you're watching as well, or listening. We don't have TV.
I mean, I'm watching.
You are watching me. It's very creepy.
I haven't blinked this entire show.
Somebody help me.
All right. Without further ado, I'm going to say goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, let's do it. Bye.
See you.
Thanks for listening to Z Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or follow us on social media at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.